I'm hoping that everything is right. I think it is. Hello, hello. I'm Stephanie. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Hold on just a second. Let me take care of something here. There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. In this live stream, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes here. And let's start with the when Symbol Becomes Proof series. I uploaded part 4 last week and realized while I was researching that episode that I really needed to do another video to really examine the performance aspect of both Michelle Lamy and Marina Abramovich. The section of the original video transcript of Izzy's into the potential occult symbolism of both women just became an unreachable goal to do that along with everything else that I wanted to do for that video. So um, for part 5, I'm going to be following the same type of structure that I did with Christine and Genesis Peorage in part 3. And this time I'll be comparing and contrasting Lamy and Abramovich with 2 other women, uh, artists who are well known in occult circles, and those women being Marjorie Cameron and Rosaline Norton. And the question that I'll be using to frame that next part will be, how do we distinguish an artist who uses occult presenting a material from an artist whose work is actually embedded in occult belief and practice? So I'm looking at the chat here. Oh, my ear trumpet. Thank you so much for sending a gift membership to Moonman 9318. Welcome. Welcome to you both. So happy that you are both here. I really appreciate your support, my ear trumpet. Thank you so much. Okay, so right now I'm doing a lot of reading on especially Rosaline Norton. She's not someone that I know uh, a lot about. I know just kind of a yeah superficial bit about her. So I found a lot of material on her. So I'm delving into that right now. I've just started with this research for part 5. So hopefully that will be ready in September. And I've noticed though that the research rabbit holes get pretty deep, and it usually takes much more time to really look into each part that I want to address. So I appreciate your patience as I've been bringing out this series. It's not been going as quickly as I would like, but I'm trying to do it in the proper way. So, in addition to that, let me just check the Rosalind Norton Nice Australian representation. Yes, I think so too. I'm really looking forward to getting into this part 5. The part 5 will be a little bit of a tangent. It will just be addressing the things that were brought up in part 4 and earlier. Um, so it'll be it won't be really addressing anything from the transcript from the original video. It'll just be focusing on these women and comparing and contrasting. And then we'll get back to the Izzy's video and the transcript in the next video after that. So, um, right. So also, if you might have noticed, I've started sharing the free content of another series I did back in late 2024 and early 2025 on Patreon about Sherry Shriner. And the first part is now here on YouTube, as you can see. For those who don't know anything about Sherry Shriner, she was an online radio host who conducted her religious ministry online, and this dealt with a mix of various things, evangelical preaching, but she did this from a very deliberate and particular slant, as you will, and this included conspiracy theories and also conspiracy UFO narratives and end times prophecies. It was just a mishmash of a little bit of everything. She talked about Bible codes. She talked about orgone energy. She talked about just a number of different things. And she became somewhat famous, or depending on your view, infamous, when a few of her followers sadly passed away under unconventional circumstances, to put it delicately. So, if that is something that interests you, you can check that out. Okay, let's move on to some upcoming events. This Saturday, the 22nd, RENSEP, the Research Network for the Study of Esoteric Practices, with whom I collaborate, is holding their next Ask a Practitioner session online with guest Mavis Lynn. She is a writer, artist, international lecturer, and ceremonial magician, and her work approaches the religion and philosophy known as Thelema or Thelema, depending on how you pronounce that, as a living tradition. She has a YouTube channel with educational videos, so you can check her out here on YouTube. She also holds online study groups, workshops, and she lectures at pagan and occult conferences as well. She's recently published a new book called The Holy Year of Thelema, a guide to the ritual calendar of Aleister Crowley's tradition. And you can join the session as a member of RENSEP. I would recommend for those who are very interested in the intersections of esoteric and occult scholarship with actual practitioners to check out their website at rensep.org, pardon me, there, because there's a lot of interesting stuff to find. There's blog posts, there's discussion groups, yeah, just a lot of things going on, and a lot of monthly events happen for members. So it's worth the subscription price, I think. I will, of course, it goes without saying, all the links that I'm referring to here in this live stream, I will put into the description box after I've ended the stream. This event starts at 4 p.m. UK time on Zoom, and you can get the link through the website. They have got a post there, or you'll get an email if you're in time to get the link to the Zoom meeting. And just as an added little bit of information, as I collaborate with RENSEP, if you're a member of my Patreon, um, RENSEP has been very kind to offer a discount for Patreon, for Rejected Religion Patreon members when they subscribe to the RENSEP platform. So a little bit of a savings for you there for the subscription price. So if you're interested, you can check that out on my Patreon page for the discount. And if there are any questions or problems, if you're having any difficulties with the code or whatever it might be, just you can drop me a message here, and I'd be happy to help you get it sorted out. But it's pretty straightforward, so hopefully there won't be any problems with that. So that's coming up on Saturday. Next up, on the 26th and 27th of August, an online workshop from the Dark Arts Research Kollective called Evidence, Experience, and Authority in Contested Knowledge will be taking place. This is an interdisciplinary workshop organized by Dr. Lucia Asensi from the Pedagogical University in Tyrol, Austria, and Dr. Matteo Polato from Manchester Metropolitan University, and Matteo, who's been a guest on the podcast before. Let me read you the description from that Matteo sent. Quote, when we want to convince others of our beliefs, we usually offer arguments and, crucially, evidence. Sometimes this evidence is mundane and undisputed. More often, it is complex, contested, or ambiguous. But what happens when claims concern phenomena that, by their very nature, resist empirical verification? photographs of flying saucers, leaked documents allegedly exposing global conspiracies, first person accounts of divine visions, Yeti footprints, testimonies of spirit communication, ectoplasmic residues of spiritualist seances. In many discourses, evidence is central to credibility, even when no evidence, in the strict scientific sense, can exist. Yet, such claims are rarely presented as groundless. Instead, elaborate forms of justification, authentication, and evidential reasoning emerge. This interdisciplinary workshop explores how evidence is constructed, negotiated, and evaluated in discourses about phenomena that inherently evade empirical proof. This is particularly timely as recent political and technological developments are reshaping narratives, demanding renewed scrutiny of how evidence is framed, contested, and weaponized. End quote. So this sounds really fascinating to me, and I have permission from Mateo to share the link to this workshop if you're available to attend. I will be attending. Really looking forward, as I said, to this and to all of the different presenters. The sessions start at 12 noon UK time and end around 5 p.m. each day. So yeah, if it's in a Zoom format, and the link that I will provide will be self-explanatory, and you can see the program and the presenters and the topics that will be uh, yeah that will be shared on those 2 days. So yeah, again, looking forward. Up next, the Trans States Roundtable on September 6th. This is a hybrid event with unlimited online access and limited physical spaces. I'll read from the website about this event. Quote, this event marks a threshold moment for trans states itself. We are creating space to pause together, undergo a shared initiation, and collectively sense what wants to emerge next for the network, for our practices, and for what has tentatively been called occultural studies. Across different institutional, cultural, and geographic contexts, many artists, scholars, and practitioners have been circling similar constellations of questions. The persistence and transformation of occult imaginaries in contemporary cultures, the mediation of extraordinary experience, and the apparent agency of symbols, stories, and entities that resist confinement within the inherited borders of cultural theory. Increasingly, these questions arise not only from abstraction or speculation, but from lived, personal, and often visceral encounters with spiritual, esoteric, paranormal, and occultural phenomena. Rather than attempting to stabilize these concerns into a predefined field, network, or discipline, this roundtable approaches them as a shared threshold problem, something that must be encountered together, experimentally, and with care. The gathering will be anchored by a keynote address by Jack Bratich, and my apologies for not knowing how to pronounce this gentleman's last name. It's spelled Bratich. So he's giving a keynote address, recognizing his coining of the term occultural studies from 2007 and drawing on his longstanding work around occulture, mediation, and power. A keynote and collective initiation ritual by Marina Almena Kimatica to be available online and in person and undertaken together. A small number of framing provocations offered by the Trans States organizers and our hosts, the Dark Economies Scholarly Association at Falmouth University, intended to open discussion rather than close it down. Instead of rehearsing conclusions, this roundtable invites shared divination, an opportunity to listen for what wants to emerge, to test what can endure, and to collectively imagine what a future trans states and whatever might be understood and practiced as a cultural studies could yet become. This event will be hybrid with the in-person component held at Falmouth University's Penryn campus. There will be a limited number of ticketed in-person places alongside a fully supported online option, enabling members of our global network across geographies and time zones to take part without any barriers to access. There is no cost to attend online and no expectation beyond a willingness to engage, listen, and participate in good faith. End quote. I believe this starts at 9 a.m. UK time. When I registered and got my confirmation, that was what's listed. So you'll have to adjust for your own time zone if you choose to attend. Uh, really looking forward to this as well. And I have attended a former physical trans states conference several years ago. Wonderful event. And I think this will also be another very interesting day. All right. Lastly, I am going to be interviewing Bob Cluness for September's podcast about his new open access article in the journal Correspondences called The Working Class Magus, Class Politics and Occult Power in John Constantine Hellblazer. I'm reading from the abstract. First published in 1988 by DC Comics, John Constantine Hellblazer has been one of the most successful contemporary serial comics titles to have arisen out of the British invasion, quote unquote, of 1980s US comics. The titular character of the series, John Constantine, is a British working class magician and occult detective who is depicted as one of the world's most powerful occultists. A marked departure from previous depictions of occultism and magic in US comics, Hellblazer's tales of occult wars, demons, non human entities, and social realism are set in a gritty, realist world whose elements of gothic horror, noir, and nightmarish imagery provide a stark social and political commentary on class divisions in contemporary Britain, resulting from the fallout from the neoliberal economic programs of successive conservative and new labor governments. In this article, Bob examines how esoteric ideas and occultism expressed in Hellblazer intersect with politics, class, and power from a UK perspective, from the political and class backgrounds of the character's creator, Alan Moore, and writers such as Jamie Delano, and the series depictions of British class politics. To the ways occult practices of various practitioners in the series take on the dimensions of social class. Bob also examines the influence of Hellblazer and the magical persona and politics of Constantine on the contemporaneous UK occultural milieu, from its impact upon creator Alan Moore to its role as a magical inspiration for contemporary UK magicians. Now, this is going to be a really fun conversation, as all of my talks with Bob are. Bob has been a guest a few times here, and it's always a pleasure to talk with Bob. He is a wealth, a fountain of knowledge about all of this stuff. So I'm really looking forward into delving into this article with him. The article, as I said, is open access from the journal Correspondences, and wonderful journal. There are more articles in the I think it's number 13. There are a lot of different articles as well that you can also read there. And yeah, all of the journal numbers are open access and easily accessible. Okay, let me do some checking here of the chat. No new messages, so that's all for this time. Links again will follow after I end the stream. Thank you all for being here. And I hope you are excited as I am for what's to come. I wish you all a very good rest of your week. And I will see you all again very soon, hopefully. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.